Let's not waste time. Let's not sugarcoat it. The year is halfway done. Yep, another June. Another mid-year reality check. And if you're like most people, January still feels like last week. You probably remember making promises to yourself, so big ones. You told yourself, this year is going to be different. You set goals. You wrote affirmations. Maybe you even bought a fancy journal or a whiteboard. You felt unstoppable. But here we are, halfway in. And for some of you, all that momentum, gone, vaporized. Now, I'm not here to beat you up. I'm here to wake you up. Because if you're watching this or listening to this right now, there's something in you that still wants more. You haven't given up. You're just stuck. Maybe confused. Maybe tired. Maybe a little distracted. And I get it. Life moves fast. Responsibilities pile up. Days blur into weeks, and suddenly, you're in June wondering where the time went. But let's get one thing clear. This isn't the end of the story. You still have 6 months left in this year, or more importantly, the next 6 months of your life, to take control, to reset, to rebuild, to recommit. And that's what this message is all about. It's not just about a calendar year, it's about how you treat the time you've got. Whether it's the second half of 2025, 2026, or any year moving forward, this is a wake-up call that doesn't expire. Because every 6 months, every new chapter, every Monday, every morning, you've got a decision to make. Lock in or keep losing. Let's start with the most dangerous phrase people love to say, I've just been busy. Let me tell you something. Everybody's busy. Even lazy people are busy. Busy binge watching. Busy avoiding responsibility. Busy scrolling. Busy complaining. Being busy is not a badge of honor. It's not an excuse. Being busy without direction is like running full speed on a treadmill. A whole lot of effort, zero movement forward. You're tired, out of breath, sweaty, but you're in the exact same spot. That's what happens when you mistake motion for progress. You're trying to be productive, but you're really just burning energy on tasks that don't move the needle. You're organizing your desk instead of building your business. You're making a vision board instead of taking action. You're reading about habits instead of building them. Let's keep it real. Effort without clarity is noise. You can try all you want, but trying is just dressed up procrastination when there's no plan behind it. Let's test something right now. How many times have you said, I just don't have time? Sound familiar? Cool. Let's break that myth. There are 24 hours in a day. Let's subtract 8 hours for sleep. If you're getting good sleep, hours for work or school hours for eating, showering, commuting, basic stuff, that still leaves 6 hours. Every single day. 6 hours of opportunity. And yeah, maybe you don't get a full 6 every single day. But even if you reclaimed just 2 hours and used them with intention, that's 60 hours a month. 360 hours in 6 months. Imagine what you could do with 360 focused hours. You could start and scale a side hustle. You could get in the best shape of your life. You could learn a new skill. You could rebuild your routine, rewire your mindset, and reintroduce yourself to yourself. But what do most people do with those hours? Scroll, overthink, watch the same shows again, worry, compare, talk themselves out of taking action, and then they wonder why nothing's changing. Let me say this loud for the people in the back. You don't have a time problem. You have a focus problem. You're not tired because you work so hard. You're tired because you're stretched too thin on things that don't matter. You're not busy. You're distracted. And distraction is the silent killer of dreams. It doesn't shout. It whispers. It lulls you into comfort, into mediocrity, into delay. Here's the crazy part. We live in the easiest time in history to change your life. You don't need a fancy degree. You don't need to wait for permission. You've got the internet. You've got access to knowledge. You've got tools, courses, apps, mentors, communities, many for free. The gatekeepers are gone. The question is no longer can I, it's will I. But here's where most people slip up. They have goals without systems. And goals without systems are just dreams. Saying I want to save money means nothing if you don't have a budget. Saying I want to get fit means nothing if you don't have a workout plan. Saying I want to create content means nothing if you post once every 3 weeks and call it consistency. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So build systems. Create routines that work for your life. Set up reminders, habits, tools that support your direction. Stop relying on motivation. Motivation is flaky. Systems are faithful. Motivation is a mood. Systems are strategy. Now, let's address another trap, the illusion of balance. We've been fed this lie that you can balance everything. You can work 9 to 5, grow a side hustle, maintain a social life, binge Netflix, get 8 hours of sleep, journal, meditate, meal prep, date, party, travel, and somehow still level up in your spare time. That's not balance. That's delusion. Real growth requires sacrifice. You might have to give up comfort to gain clarity. You might have to skip nights out to stack skills. You might have to be misunderstood while you evolve. You might have to disappear to rebuild. And that's okay. You're not falling off. You're focusing up. You don't need to balance everything. You need to prioritize what matters most, at least for a season. Because balance doesn't build greatness. Sacrifice does. Let's be clear. Most of what changes your life is boring. Yep, boring. It's not flashy. It's not aesthetic. It's not going viral on Instagram. It's doing the reps when no one's watching. Saying no when it would be easier to say yes. Reading the boring book. Making the hard decision. Staying disciplined when the results aren't showing yet. Discipline isn't punishment. It's freedom in disguise. Because when you build habits that serve your future, you stop being a slave to your feelings. You keep waiting for the perfect mood to start. But what if taking action is what creates the mood? You keep waiting to feel ready. But what if you become ready by moving? The secret is action first. Feelings follow. Confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself. From doing the things you said you would, even when you don't feel like it. And one last thing. Stop collecting inspiration like it's a personality trait. Watching motivational content is cool. But motivation without execution is just another form of entertainment. You don't need more quotes, you need more action. Don't just be inspired. Be intentional. So here's where we land. You've got 6 months. Not just 6 months of the year, but the next 6 months of your life. The next 180 days where you can either keep repeating cycles or start rewriting your story. Don't wait for January to reinvent yourself. Do it now. Don't wait for Monday. Do it now. Don't wait for clarity. Move now and clarity will come. Remember this, you're not a failure. You're just unfocused. You don't need more time. You need more intention. You don't need motivation. You need movement. Your future doesn't need your doubts. It needs your discipline. And the rest of this year, or the rest of your journey, is not going to magically change just because time passes. Time doesn't change things. Intentional action does. So, are you going to lock in? Or are we going to have this same conversation again, 6 months from now?